Good morning, good morning, good morning. The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, and you are breathing. Today is Saturday, February the 3rd, 2024, and I would like to welcome you all to This is Just a Thought with Stephen Carnegie. I hope everyone's enjoying their Saturday or will enjoy their Saturday, especially if y'all. Uh, yeah, I really hope you guys enjoy it. I'm off, so I'm going to enjoy it to the fullest. Believe me. Just believe me. Hey, before I go any further, hit that like and subscribe button along with that bell icon so you can get notified when I drop these podcasts. Keep you in the loop. Hey, there's a lot of interesting topics we are going to be talking about. So, hey, also get in that comment section. Let me know what you think, yay or nay. I won't bite. I won't bite. Not physically, verbally I may, but hey, we're all adults. We are all adults. We just are. We just are. Although sometimes I wonder myself, age, like the old saying goes, age doesn't make an adult, because some of you are totally off your rockers. But everyone has their own opinion. Everyone has their own thought process. They just do. So yeah, hit that like and subscribe button and that bell icon. There's going to be a lot of interesting topics we're going to talk about, and I would hate for you guys to miss out. All right, let's move along here. Man, the weather here in North Carolina is looking pretty good. It's in the 50s. We're not too cold, not too hot. There's no snow, no rain. No rain is in the forecast until sometime the end of next week, going into Saturday, to be honest with you. But man, Southern California, wow. They got hammered last month. It looks like they're going to get hammered again because they're saying sometime maybe tomorrow or in the wee hours of the morning, Saturday night going into Sunday, they're going to get some snow. I'm sorry. So used to say it's snow. They're going to get some rain. They're going to get flooded out. Heavy rain and winds in Southern California. So much for that song. It never song and saying it never rains in Southern California. I think that's done away with because the rain been getting last month or towards the end of last year also that does away with that belief. Just does. So hey, like I said, temperatures here in North Carolina are looking good, and I will take it. I will take it in comparison to other parts of this country that are seeing the snow, the freezing temperatures, or freezing rain, and now you got Southern California is getting some rain, and they're saying it's going to be heavy. They're expecting however many feet of rain there. Hmm. Well, what was that? Was it last month where they got hit with that one of those super waves on that coastline around Santa Barbara, I believe? Man, that was somewhat surprising. But hey, it is California. It is California. So everyone, stay warm if you can, and watch yourself out there with that weather, man. Today's word of the day, quisling, which means a traitor or collaborator. Quisling. Hmm. That's a very interesting word, I gather. I guess. I really wouldn't know. Hey, and also tonight is the night. Tonight is the night. Number seven, Duke is going to be playing number three, UNC, in men's basketball at 6:30. The Battle of the Blues, the Tobacco Road Showdown. Actually, well, I guess times have changed, but for me personally, when I was coming along, the Tobacco Road Showdown was UNC and NC State. State's not looking too good. Haven't looked too good in a while, but that was a Tobacco Road Showdown to me. It's like the teams have reversed themselves because I got to be honest with you. I know it's hard for some of you that are a little younger than me, or maybe some that are as old as me that jumped ship. uh, at one point in time, Duke was not it. It was an easy win, but now my, how the tables have turned. Looks like Duke is it now, and State is out. A prediction for me? I'm a UNC fan. I'm just going to tell you that I am. I'm a UNC fan. Always have and always will be. They got beat the other night by Georgia Tech. So, nah, UNC's going to pull it out. They just are. It's a no brainer for me. I'm a UNC. I know those Dukies out there, they're hoping that Duke pulls it out, but we'll see. We will see. We will see. Just will. And an update of sorts. We all know about those three United States Army National Guardsmen that were killed um, in Jordan. Well, it looks like the bodies were brought home yesterday, and of course they were met by uh, National Guards and the Honor Brigade, the transport of bodies in the military and they were in Dover, Delaware. And President Biden, he came out and released a statement. He had already said that the U.S. would respond, but it was going to be a calculated response and it was going to be multi-leveled. Looks like it started yesterday, the response. So far, they're doing what they do. They're bombing. They're bombing their arsenals, certain places they believe these terrorists to be. Um, wow, just wow. Um, Now, one thing President Biden said is, "Hey, I don't want to turn this out into an all-out war in the Middle East." Uh, I can agree with you on that. You have so much going on already, and you're supposed definitely, certainly, don't want to go over there in the Middle East and launch an all-out war and with those booze. But the multi-level response or retaliation, like I said, it has started. But there's still some in the well, not his administration, but there's still some politicians in the House and the Senate and the Congress that have came out and said, "Hey, yeah, pretty much blow them to smithereens." There's always one. There's always one that wants an all-out war. Probably never served a day in his or her life. Probably don't have any family members or kids in the military at all, but yet you want an all-out war. Is a war what the United States really and truthfully wants with those terrorists in the Middle East? I really don't think so. I just don't. I'm not pumping them up, but no, no. There's no way the U.S. should be involved in an all-out war in the Middle East with a terrorist organization or Iran. Because the thing is, the government has came out and said that these terrorist organizations are financed by Iran. And of course, Iran has denied it, of course, and said, no, that's not us, no way, no how, we wouldn't do anything like that. Okay, well, we know the backstory of Iran, so the sky's the limit with those fools. But yeah, this attack, this multi-level response has started, and it looks like it's going pretty good. If I can say that, and I know that sounds odd. It sounds odd coming out of my mouth, but something has to be done. There's no doubt in my mind something has to be done. They've gotten more and more brazen. I told you about the three service members that were killed, but I could have sworn I heard it first, and maybe they now know the two Navy SEALs were killed also, and not there in that instant, but in a separate incident. I thought it was a training exercise, but they're saying no, that was an attack. So those guys get more and more brazen. No longer, the old style of politics when you dealt with terrorists, you would hear them say, "Well, we don't negotiate with terrorists." Of course, when they would, kidnap some people, and the old style of politics as it relates to terrorists, they really wouldn't engage the terrorist organizations. I think times have changed in 2024 now that it's not engaging, it's you handling your business with them. Don't want a war, but you got to send a message, a clear message, and so they understand. You might want to go the opposite way as it relates to the United States and killing members of our military. I could be wrong, but I don't think so. So yeah, it was time for President Biden to respond. There was no way around it. It just wasn't. Now, many, with the upcoming election, coming up, presidential election coming up, many are of course, questioning how this plays into politics. Is it a good look or is it a bad look? Is it a good look for those that approve of this war, or is it a bad look for those who say no to war at all or on all levels? Hmm. Yeah, it is going to play into the 2024 presidential election. There's no bones about it. Along with, for us here in the United States, the border crisis. That's front and center again. Now, there's a border bill that is trying to work its way through the House, and then of course to the Congress and whatever what have you. Of course, it's met some staunch opposition because of course the Republicans are saying no, don't let anyone else in. Democrats are saying no, that's inhumane. You gotta let folks in. I mean, they're running from political persecution or the drug cartels or whatever. This is America. We are the land of freedom and democracy. Rah rah rah, shish boom bah, yada yada yada. The taunt, the praise and accolades and rallying cries goes on and on from both sides. As for me, myself, and I, you got to secure that border somehow, some way. The crazy thing is, and there are border rules, laws, regulations, however you word it, but it's just not being enforced. So there has to be some enforcement along that border. Uh, to just allow people to randomly and freely cross over. I understand they're running or escaping political persecution or the drug cartels or just looking for a better way of life. But there are rules and regulations that we all have to follow as citizens in this country. And so now you're telling me because of what they have going on in their country, they should have a right to just come over and not follow any rules or regulations or laws. I don't know if you guys have heard about this story up in New York with these immigrants. Of course, we all know by now that immigrants are being bused to the large, primarily Democratic ran cities, New York, Chicago, wherever, whoever or wherever you want to send them. And it's being done by Republican states, Republican governors down in Texas. Uh, but if you guys have heard the story of these immigrants that assaulted these police officers, punched them, stomped them, got into a scuffle with them, or whatever, what have you, they were arrested. They were found and arrested, but they're out on bond. They gave them no bond. They let them out. How? Why? If they're here illegally, and this goes back to these rules and laws and regulations we have in this country. If they're here illegally and they are committing a crime, assaulting police officers who told them to just simply move on, I guess they were loitering somewhere and the melee ensued. um, why don't they have a bond? Why? Well, they shouldn't even have a bond. I'm sorry. Let me backtrack. What am I thinking? They shouldn't have a bond. Why aren't they locked up? They're here illegally. They're breaking the laws. They're committing crimes. Why aren't they locked up? Why would you let them out? Well, when slowly but surely you can see it, the country is shifting towards something. When you're trying to put something out, an agenda or a new way of thinking, you oftentimes would do the complete opposite, of course, of what you know is right. There's no way in the world, no one at any level, whether they're in government or not in government, or whether they're regular citizens or whatever, can convince me that that is acceptable for you to release folks that are here illegally and committing crimes out into the general public amongst us. Why were they released? Do you know their address? Probably not. Because they can't stay at the shelters. The shelters are being overran. And the shelters are being overran, not just with the homeless citizens here in the United States, but they're really being overran with those illegal immigrants that have been bussed in. from these Republican-led states. You know, earlier last year, I can remember when this started. I really haven't talked about it. The governor down in Texas said, "Look, there's no way in the world we can financially or house these people, clothe, feed, or whatever, what have you. We need some help from the federal government. Can you please step in, close this border?" I know the big thing with former President Trump is that he was going to build a wall. Um, David, that was part of his campaign plea. But bottom line for me is those border laws and rules and regulations need to be enforced. There's no way in the world you could convince me that folks should just be able to just walk across that border, come into the United States, and disappear. I guarantee you, I can't go down to to Mexico or go further into South America because they're saying these immigrants are coming from El Salvador, Colombia, whatever, what have you, further places in South America. I guarantee you, I can't just walk down there like that, walk across that border. All hell will break loose on me. Yeah, on me and on you too. We can't do that. So why, pray tell, are we allowing this in the United States with however many per thousand or tens or twenties or thirties or 50,000 people a day coming across or being allowed to enter this country illegally and really and truthfully not being monitored? Because the ones that are going through the process are the ones that they can get a hand on and get their information. The border agents, those that are literally standing on the border, the agents, the officers, and those that are working in the offices are saying, "Hey, we've been overran. We can't keep up. We have to work something out here." Stop allowing them over and enforce those laws. You may say that's cruel and heartless. There's babies and women out there. Get a guy that understands, and my heart bleeds for them. But there's a right and a wrong way to do any and everything in life. We all know that. We're all adults. We're all old enough. We know that there's a right and a wrong way to do things in this life we're living. Not just in this country that we're living in, but it's life in general. There's certain things you do and don't do. There's a way for you to do something the correct way and get the desired result, and then there's a way for you to do things the wrong way and get what you think is a desired result. So, me, close the border, secure it. You may say, "Well, you're a black man. That's hot." No, that's not hot. There's no way in the world you can convince me that that's right. I'm not horning in on that one particular incident in New York with those immigrants and those police officers. But that right there should tell the tale. And it also should tell the tale about our judicial system and what they are doing now. It doesn't look like they're enforcing laws. Doesn't look like they're doing common sense reform. You let four or five people that were here illegally that assaulted police officers just walk out the damn jailhouse. I guarantee you don't even have their address. They don't have an address. Or maybe they gave them the address of one of the shelters up there. I mean, that's done with the homeless also. So they picked up on that. Yeah, secure that border. Um, that's 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 unacceptable. And like I said, you and I, we can't get away with that. We can't get away with that. Not here in the United States and not going anywhere outside of the United States also. We got to have the right documentation. And they're gonna want to know what we're doing, where we're going, and we will be tracked and monitored. I wonder if someone could try that. No, I wouldn't. That's extremely dangerous. You're not from that area, and you know how. Hey, it ain't just the Middle East. There's a lot of folks down there in South America that don't care for American citizens also. So that would be extremely dangerous. Not don't do that. Don't do that. Don't do that. I would hope you wouldn't. I would. I just would. But man, it's It's unbelievable. Like I said, I haven't really talked about what's going on that border, but it's unbelievable what how it has grown to just complete and utter chaos. It just has. It just mind blowing to me. All right, let's move along here. Also, I would talk about it, but I'm really not going to talk about that. I had it in my notes here. I was going to talk about what's going on here in Durham, North Carolina, with the teachers and the pay dispute and the overage. That not just the teachers who were paid, the cafeteria staff, and the bus drivers because there was a little problem with getting the kiddies to school. I'm not going to talk about that. That's foolishness. The thing that I could say, because what has happened is there's been a lot of walkouts, with teachers, even the bus drivers and the cafeteria staff. Somehow, some way, there was a overpayment that now Durham Board of Education is saying they want to take it back, and of course, that sparked and spurred those teachers, bus drivers, cafeteria staff, janitors to walk out. The best I can say, and this is my humble opinion because I hear folks saying, hey, well, they took the money, they knew that money wasn't there. That was part of that new raise thing that's sweeping the nation as far as teachers go, paying with raise, paying those that have been there or been in the system a while, giving them a raise, or as opposed to giving those that just came in, and then also adding for those that are career teachers that have been in different districts, giving them what they're worth to. The best thing I can say is the debacle that went on the earlier part of this year, stemmed from last year over pay overages. That was a leadership failure. That was leadership. It just was. Um, how do you know? How do you not know what you're paying folks? How are you not tracking how the money is dispersed? And that's all I'm saying about that. And I'm gonna leave it right there. That's that. So it was a failure in leadership. You ask me. Not just that chief financial officer needs to be let go. They're quite. There needs to be some more let go right along with her or him. He or she didn't single-handedly do that. Uh, yeah, there should have flat out. Someone should have been monitoring it, and someone should have been monitoring the person you assigned to monitor it. Someone should have been monitoring the person that was dispersing or in charge of dispersing, and the person that was in charge of he or she that was dishing the money out. And there should have been a third person watching all of them. Because it's obviously no one was watching anyone. No one caught it that they overpaid these teachers and bus drivers until it was too late. And then now there's a budget shortage. Well, you don't say. Hmm, that's peculiar. I wonder why there's a budget shortage. Lack of leadership. That's all it is. And I'm gonna leave it right there. I'm gonna leave it right there. Ain't no need to get myself raising my blood pressure. I got a doctor's appointment later on this week. I ain't doing that. I ain't doing that with you fools. Um, it's a continuation. It's a continuation. There's always some bad leadership of those elected or appointed officials here in Durham with money issues. Hmm. Okay. All right. Let's move along here. I'm gonna make this short and short and sweet. Um, Man, if you've been listening, I've been talking trash. I've been talking trash about Duke Energy and how they conduct their business as far as their maintenance on these power grids, power lines, what have you, however you want to word it, how they go before this state ran utilities commission, and they always get a price hike every. I used to say every year, but it seems like now it's like every 6 to 8 months they're in front of that damn regulatory commission asking for a pay hike, and they get it. Now Duke Energy, because not too well when it got cold, I want to say in January, even in December of last year, there was power outages. They said, hey, we can't keep up. It's too many people, using their power. They need to set it on the side, yada yada yada. They need to set it on a certain temperature. The power demand is too great and grand for us right now. That's why we have these power outages. And also, we're going around, we're trying to fix things, and we're discovering more things. Because that was the thing that happened back in January. I don't know if I told you guys. I think I did. That there was a certain amount of people were without power, just randomly out of the blue, and it was a maintenance issue where they were trying to fix a substation. Then they found something else. Find out one of the workers or whatever hit something, and that knocked power out for however many thousands of people for about 2 days. Now Duke Energy has came out and said that hey, with the reason why we just flat out can't keep up is because of the growth of business, the population growth. And they cited that we're getting better. We're really trying actively and vigorously to updo these upgrades, and we're going to do it. Just everyone be patient. Well, I'm still trying to comprehend, and I don't profess to be this great electrical guru. Like I know everything about the electrical grid or whatever, what have you. With all those price hikes these guys have gotten over the years, hell, within the past 10 years, let's say 10 years, with all these price hikes these guys have gotten over the past 10 years, why are y'all having maintenance issues? What were the price hikes for? That's what we were told when you guys got these price hikes. You said you back way back then, or even the most recent one, you said you had maintenance issues. You had to do upgrades. So you guys weren't upgrading, say, for 10 years. And now all of a sudden, with this population growth, businesses coming because Apple's coming, Google Cloud is coming. You know, President Biden's infrastructure with the electronic vehicles, uh, there are electronic vehicle making companies that are coming. There are the power stations for these electrical vehicles need to be built. So they're manufacturing plants are trying to come here also. You knew all this stuff was coming. You knew how technology was rolling. Now, you also knew or had to know that with all these companies coming, Google and Google Cloud, Apple, and with this trend of push for electronic vehicles, you had to know the population was going to grow also. Because not only was it just the electronic companies that, the car making companies that are coming, we've known about these technology companies coming for a while. In fact, that's how it was marketed by the governors that we elected. They would we have RTP here, Research Triangle Park, and it ain't just medicine. And now we also know we have the bio industry that is booming also, biotech. So you knew all these companies were coming, and they were bringing people with them. They're going to hire some folks from here. They're going to bring some folks in. They're going to do some recruitments just like they're doing here at the colleges and universities. They're going around the United States to these colleges and universities. They're recruiting the brightest of the brightest, the best of the best. You know, these people were coming. What did y'all do with the price hike, buddy? Am I the only one that's asking this question? Am I the only one that sees a red flag or flags here? What were y'all doing with the money? Y'all got every time you went before that regulatory commission, that state ran regulatory commission, they never denied you. Always got it, no matter how much the citizens of this state raised holy, you know what, saying no. So what did you guys do with the money again? Where's the money? We know the time wasn't put into it, and now we know the money wasn't put into it. Guarantee you they'll be back before that regulatory commission within the next 4 months, maybe, asking for more money. Maybe this time, maybe this go around, all of us as citizens of North Carolina, as taxpayers of North Carolina, maybe we ought to show up before that regulatory commission too and voice our dismay. I think Duke Energy, just like I've said numerous times, you guys need to go back to your board And with all those price hikes you guys got and all those bonuses, you're not going to tell me you didn't give your board bonuses because you also have stated that you had a hiring problem where you now have to hire qualified personnel. So you guys weren't hiring anyone during that time? You just let all the old ones phase out, and now you got to do upgrade and maintenance and hire people. Also, what was it? COVID. COVID. You lost a lot of people during COVID, like a lot of businesses did. No, you didn't. Guys didn't hire nobody for however many years. Kept getting those price hikes, putting it in your damn pocket, and now it's showing. I'm sorry, no one can convince me otherwise. I'm not being one of these conspiracy or nuts or hard. You know what? But the math ain't adding. Think about it. I'm doing a minimum of 10 years with these price hikes. Every single time they have gone before that state ran regulatory commission, for that utilities commission, for that price hike, they've gotten it. You didn't get, did you give any of your employees, not your board, but did you give any of your employees raises? Just a thought. Like I said, I'm not being a conspiracy nut job theorist or monopoly hating bad, you know what? I'm not. But the math ain't mathing. I mean, come on now. Could we do that if we ran a business? Yeah, we could. Well, I always said that these the electrical companies and other municipalities, like water, gas. I've always said these things are monopolies. They're in the business. They ain't providing just a service. They're in the business to make a profit and pass it on to their board, their shareholders. And that's exactly what they've done. And now it's showing. You're taunting, you got the governor that is taunting that the economy is booming here in North Carolina. We got all these great technology companies coming and electrical vehicle companies coming. Their companies are also coming that are building the electronics charging station for these electrical cars. And now you guys come out after several debacles going back to last year, all year, and now into this year, starting in the month of January, where you couldn't keep up with the power need, not power demand, but power need for regular citizens, and you couldn't keep up. Bet you need another price hike. Yeah, you do. I know you do. Why stop the hustle? It's worked so well this far. It's worked grand for you thus far. Why stop? Get some more. Just a thought. Just a thought. No need to bite my head off. But the math ain't mathing. Something ain't adding up. Nope. 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 Well, I'm gonna go on and get out of here. I'm gonna go and skedaddle. Certainly have a lot going on in this world now. Get another year is taking off with a bang. Just has. Just has. Oh, before I go, I usually don't do this, but I am today. Man, I don't know. I heard about it yesterday evening when I got off work. I had been working. I really hadn't had a chance to look at my phone. Uh, the passing of man, let's just call him Apollo Creed. The passing of Carl Weathers, 70 some odd years old. He passed in his sleep. We all know him as Apollo Creed from Rocky. Action Jackson. I remember that movie. That was it was one of those '80s action movies. And hey, I'm gonna be honest with you, those '80s action movies, they were very reminiscent of the '70s black exploitation movies, uh, as cult favorites or cult classics. I'm gonna be honest with you, it was some of the worst acting you ever seen. It was black exploitation. I love it to death. I love Dolomite. I love all the black exploitations, but the acting was just horrible. The 80s action movies, I love them to death, but the acting was just horrible. But they are cult classics. They are, um, we grew up on them. So rest in peace to Carl Weathers. He was, it just threw me yesterday. I said, wow. And then, of course, you had all the tributes, the Rocky movies. And I was like, well, damn, I do remember this guy. He was that dude. He just was. Um, I hope he's finally resting. I don't want to say that I didn't know he was sick, but his family released a statement that said he passed in his sleep. So that's that. All right, I'm going to get out of here. I'm going to go and skedaddle. Thank you all for lending me your ears this morning. Continue to like, support, share, offer feedback. Whether yay or nay, do you agree with what I said about this new electrical problem here in North Carolina with our electrical monopolized system? And it's showing that it is monopolized because they can't keep up with growth, population, or business. And that includes small businesses too, because they're on grids just like the regular population. Because when that power went out last year, each and every time it went out, and then early part of January when the power went out, a lot of small businesses lost. They lost money from not being open. They lost money from food products, even the food, the restaurant industry that's really trying to rebound after COVID. They lost money. A lot of folks couldn't go to work because there was no power where they worked. They lost money. Now, a lot of jobs don't pay you if you're not open, especially small businesses. So, am I wrong when I say I think Duke Energy needs to bite the bullet and fix the problem, and they don't need another damn price hike? Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm being too hard. Maybe I'm heartless. I mean, they gotta eat too. Okay, guys been eating fat for a while. Should have it all stored. So get in that comment section. Let me know what you think. Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Am I wrong? Nope, I am not. I'm just not. Thank you all for listening to This Is Just a Thought with Stephen Carnegie. Amen.